Chapter 8.4, Day 1, Graphing y equals ax squared plus bx plus c. The key idea and properties of graph of y equals ax squared plus bx plus c is the graph opens up if a is greater than 0. If the front number, that is the coefficient of x squared, if that number is positive, then the graph opens up. The graph opens down when a is less than 0. If the front number, that is the coefficient of x squared, if that is negative, then the graph opens down. So opens up means this type, and opens down means facing down. The y-intercept is c. Y-intercept is the point where the graph cuts at y-axis. So this is y-axis. If it is cut at any point on the y-axis, that is called y-intercept, and that is the number c, the last number or the constant. The x-coordinate of the vertex. Vertex is the point where the parabola starts. And this is the point, in this case is this one, in this case is this one, where the parabola starts. The x-coordinate of the vertex is negative b over 2a. So this is the formula. We can tell that this is a, this is b, and this is c. And x-coordinate would be negative b over 2 times a. Next is axis of symmetry. Axis of symmetry again is the line that divides the parabola into two equal parts. So if I'm looking at this graph, that is your graph here, and let's say if this one is 2, 0, that x is equal to the line that passes through the vertex, and that is x-coordinate of the vertex, that is 2. And x-coordinate, you find it from this formula. So the axis of symmetry is x equals negative b over 2a. Example number 1, finding the axis of symmetry and vertex of the graph. Example number 1, saying that in letter A, in this section, what we're going to do is find the axis of symmetry, that is the x value, and for letter B, on to this section, you're going to find the vertex. The equation that, or the function that is given to us is y equals 2x squared plus 8x minus 1. So first of all, we are going to compare this function with our main function, that is ax squared plus bx plus c. And we can easily tell that our a is going to be 2, our b is 8, and c, we don't need c, but we can see that c is negative 1. So here I can add that c is negative 1. Step number 1, writing the equation for axis of symmetry. So the equation for axis of symmetry is going to be x equals negative b over 2a. And now you're going to substitute the b and substitute the a value. So what do we have for b? B is negative 8, and a is 2 times 2, and what we get here is negative 8 over 4, and that is negative 2. So once we simplify, we got that x equals negative 2, and that is our axis of symmetry. We also write sometime axis of symmetry is as AOS in a shorter form. For letter B, you're going to answer this question. Since the axis of symmetry is negative 2, and we just found out here, we just have it here, axis of symmetry is negative 2, x coordinate of the vertex is -2. Use the function to find the y coordinate of the vertex. So what is the function here? The function is y equals 2x squared plus 8x minus 1. You're going to use this function, and you're going to use the x value or substitute the x value as -2 into the function to find the y or simplify it. So what do you have here? Y equals 2 times x square means -2 square, plus 8 times -2 minus 1. So now we are going to solve for y. So solving for y means that y equals 2 times 4 minus 16 minus 1. And that is 8 minus 16 minus 1. 8 minus 16 is -8 minus 1, and that's -9. So y is -9 and x is -2. The vertex is going to be -2, -9. Remember, vertex is always in the form of x, y. And we already have the x value from here. And we needed to find the y value. And you can find the y value by plugging the x value into the given equation. So once you find the x value and y value, you found the vertex coordinate. Now we are going to do the U-try problem number 1 and problem number 2. So we are going to compare this with the given function, and we figure out that the a is 1. So a is 1 and b is -4. The formula for finding the axis of symmetry is x equals -b over 2a, and you find that by plugging it b as -4 and a as 2, and that is going to be 4 over 2, and that is 2. So the axis of symmetry is x equals 2. And it's already given as your answer. The vertex coordinate x is 2. Now you're going to find out if the y coordinate is -4 or not. And you can plug the x value, this x value 2, into the given equation, and you can find out if you have the y value equals -4. So I'm going to use the given function y, and I'm going to plug it in x as 2. So what I got here is 4 minus 8, and y value is -4. So the y value is -4. X is 2, y is -4, and that's your answer. Now we are going to do number 2, where we're going to find the axis of symmetry first, and then we are going to find out the y coordinate to find the vertex. I'm going to erase this because we do not need the answer first. We can check that later. So I'm going to compare the function with a equals 1, b is 6, and c is 5. The formula to find the axis of symmetry is x equals -b over 2a, where b is 6 and a is 1. So the axis of symmetry is -6 over 2, and that is -3. X equals -3 is your axis of symmetry. This is also the x coordinate of the vertex. Now you're going to find out the y coordinate of the vertex. So you're going to use this x value and plug it in here to find out the y coordinate. And I'm going to use the y equals x square means -3 square plus 6 times -3 plus 5. And you got here is 9 minus 18 plus 5. 9 minus 18 is -9 plus 5 is -4. So the y coordinate is -4. So your axis of symmetry is x equals -3 and vertex is -3 comma -4. Next we are going to do, you try problem number 3, 4, 5 and 6. For question number 3, you have a equals 1, b is -2. The formula is x equals -b over 2a. And that's -2 divided by 2 times 1. And 2 divided by 2 is 1. So you got x equals 1. And now you're going to find out the y. You're going to plug that in into the given equation. So that's going to be 1 square. So x is 1 in here. And then -2 times 1. 1 minus 2 is -1. So that's going to be y. So 1 comma -1 is your vertex. And x equals 1 is your axis of symmetry. Next is question number 4. A1, B2, and C is -2. Find the x equals -b over 2a. -2 times 1, and that's going to be -1. So axis of symmetry is -1. Find out the y value. You're going to plug it in for the x value. And you got here is 1. -1 squared is 1. So 1 minus 2 minus 2. And that's going to be 1 minus 4. And that's -3. Next is a equals -1. B is -2. C is 3. And x is -b over 2a. So that's going to be -2 over 2 times -1. So that's going to be 2 over -2. And that is x equals -1. So axis of symmetry is x equals -1. And you're going to find out the y value. So you plug it into the given equation. And 2 times -1 and 3. Here the negative outside. -1 squared is 1. -2 times -1 is going to be +2 plus 3. So that's going to be -1 plus 5, and that is going to be 4. For number 6, a is -1, b is 4. X equals -b over 2a, and that is -4 over 2 times -1. -4 divided by -2 is 2, so x equals 2. Now you're going to find out the y value, so you're going to plug it into the given equation. So -1, so that's the answers are given to every question, but we already found the answers. So 2 squared plus 4 times 2 minus 3, that's going to be -4 plus 8 minus 3, 4 minus 3, and that's 1. So 2 comma 1 for the vertex, and axis of symmetry is x equals 2.